What's going on with Tom Lee? What's going on with Ethereum? What happened this past weekend? We got a whole lot to discuss. All right, Tom Lee, Claude bot. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about this Claude bot, but we have to discuss this. Okay, this dominated my weekend. If you have a Mac Mini, pay attention. Really, if you have any sort of powerful compute, pay attention. And yeah, what else is going on? We have hacks. We have serious things going on within the U.S. government. Obviously, a lot happened over the weekend. Nothing continues to die down. A lot of exciting times for good and bad reasons. But let's get right into today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, this is the Coin Zone. Obviously, I'm your host, Crypto with Paul. Hopefully, you guys know my face by now and are tapping back in for every single episode as Chief the Yorkie is doing. Good morning, Chief. Good to see you tapping back in. Hope you had a great weekend. So I want to start here, guys. We're going to start with some Ethereum update news, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, I just laid out, if you just joined a second ago, the intro to this was me laying out everything we're going to talk about today. So let's go over it one more time. Okay, Ethereum, we have quantum proof upgrades. We have Tom Lee, still very, very bullish, securing 40,000 more Ethereum for the treasury, making statements. We're going to take a look at a clip from Tom Lee in this live. We're also going to take a look at some major risks and some basically hacks involving Binance that seem to be pretty bad. All right. And then we're going to take a look at the Claude bot. If you're just hearing about the Claude bot for the first time coming out of my mouth, pause, stick around because you're going to want to learn about this thing. Okay. Especially if you have a Mac Mini, which I do. So stay tuned. All right, guys, this is from thecoinzone.com. If you want up to the date news stories about cryptocurrency, especially projects like Ethereum, all right, go check out thecoinzone.com. We're always putting articles out. This is from this morning from myself, yours truly. So what's going on in the space right now with ETH, guys? Ethereum is taking concrete steps to protect its network against quantum computing. The Ethereum Foundation just announced a dedicated post-quantum security team. It's led by cryptographic engineer Thomas Koratger. Maybe got that one correct. Let's see. Koratger, chat, let me know. Ethereum researcher Justin Drake calls it a pivotal shift towards practical solutions from years of theoretical research. Now, if we go ahead and click on Justin Drake, it will bring us to a tweet that he put out. Okay, but let's just get back to the article. The initiative addresses a fundamental vulnerability. Ethereum relies on elliptic curve cryptography, to secure transactions and wallets. Advanced quantum computers could compromise that system. The threat isn't theoretical anymore. It's becoming immediate. So this is the current landscape. We have many people fearful of what can happen to cryptocurrency when it comes to quantum computers. Now, I will raise a different question. If we are fearful of what's going to happen to cryptocurrencies when it comes to quantum computing, your bank account will be the first to go. That is a very easy series of numbers, you know, zeros and ones compared to any cryptocurrency. Your banks are the first to go. All right. Everything is the first to go. And this episode all kind of ties in hand to security, right? We're talking about ETH, quantum computing risks, beefing up the security. We're going to talk about this other hack that took place involving Binance. And we're going to take a look at the Claude bot again in this live stream. Security risks there. It's the number one reason why I haven't downloaded it onto my personal Mac Mini. Okay, if I will do this, which I really want to, I might have to buy a separate device for it because I don't trust. We'll get to it, but you're basically giving an AI with insane capabilities unfeathered access to your computer. Like anything, your bank statements, your emails, everything, guys. So we'll get to it. Back to Ethereum in the moment. Drake publicly announced the formation of the post-quantum team. It'll focus on 3 critical areas: wallet safety, account abstraction, and transaction security. These components from the backbone of Ethereum's security infrastructure form, Yes, now here's the big move, guys. Why would Tom Lee do what he's doing? Okay, take a Bitcoin company basically and turn it into an ETH treasury. The move could give Ethereum an edge over Bitcoin. Both networks face similar cryptographic vulnerabilities, but Ethereum's proactive approach signals a more immediate commitment that could translate into competitive advantages as the crypto ecosystem grapples with quantum threats. Now, personally, am I worried about this? I would say it's definitely a threat. It's definitely something that is scary. Once the genie's out of the bottle, there's no getting it back in. And that's true for AI. That's true for quantum computers. That's true for anything humans are building that will be smarter than us. Now, playing devil's advocate, am I worried? Not really. We're talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin being the two new financial layers of this new system, quote unquote, legitimately. And I'm not just saying that as a crypto fan or a degen. If you're paying attention to what happened at Davos last week in Switzerland with the World Economic Forum, if you're paying attention to everything that's been taking place, basically, in my opinion, since BlackRock a couple years ago was like, yeah, let's get it. I get it. Bitcoin's the future. Ethereum's now the future as well, supposedly. You have stable coins being built on top of ETH. You have the TradFi system, JP Morgan, building on top of ETH. Bitcoin and ETH, out of the entire crypto space, guys, let's be honest, are the clear winners. Okay? Clear winners. Everything else at this point in the space I view much differently than I did 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Much differently. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you this. You guys know I'm a big fan of Caspa, right? We've had Caspa people on the channel. I don't have any more Caspa because I just don't see how it's going to fit into what's happening right now. You have to pay attention when it comes to these markets. Okay, if you're investing in altcoins, if you're investing in anything outside of Bitcoin and I guess ETH at this point, in my eyes, it's even more riskier now because you have basically the powers that be saying, yeah, we only care about these two. In large part. Now you have things like Chainlink helping still build out this new system, right? Me too, I like Caspa, but it's under 4 cents. Yeah, I mean, fire sale, absolutely. Absolutely insane to see that those price. Fundamentals, solid. Caspa's a great project. And I'm sure it can get back up to 12 cents, 15 cents, hit a new all-time high at some point. Great. But what I'm trying to say is, the fact of the matter is, all the attention is on Bitcoin and ETH at this time. Maybe you can throw XRP in there as well. Ton of ETFs. Brad Garlinghouse continues to do a good job networking the project. You know, my views on even ADA has changed at this point as well too. I'm comfortable with where my bag is, but I'm not going to add to it at this point. If anything, I'm looking elsewhere. And why is that? Because again, guys, the fundamentals, similar to why I like Caspa, it's very, very solid. Like, I still don't get how, honestly, it is at as low as it is. I mean, it's quote unquote ghost town. Yes, the users are not there still. That's a big, honest scrutiny about the project, which is insane to me because everything's there for it. You have so many incentives. There's so many good things that you can do on that blockchain. But again, they don't have the attention right now. They do have good attention. You know, you have ETFs launching and Grayscale and this and that. There's a lot. ProShares, Bitwise, there's a lot to be positive about, genuinely. And right now, it's what, 33 cents, something like that. It's like absolutely insane. What do you think about Tau, Avi, and OKB? Huge fan of Tau. Huge fan of BitTensor. Aave as well. Hey, Chief, you've definitely heard me talk about BitTensor before. I've definitely talked about Avi as well. Avi, I think, has, if they figure out internally, they have some internal issues. They need to figure out what they're doing with fees and revenue, and they need to get on the same page internally. But I think they have a massive opportunity right now to become one of the biggest banks over the next 5 to 10 years, a DeFi quote unquote bank per se. Let's see what happens with this legislation. OKB, I mean, I'm not the biggest. I mean, I feel indifferent about it. I don't really care that much. Maybe I should look into it more. I know it kind of has its own separate runs, kind of like Binance has. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Tau. Tau to me is a play in my Roth IRA, which I'm strictly Bitcoin in. I do like to make a couple of trades. You guys heard me talk about before in my Roth IRA, tax-free trading. Shout out iTrust Capital. Okay, you could buy cryptos and metals. So the one trade I made in my Roth was taking profits of my silver and just rolling it back into Bitcoin tax-free. Now, my strategy with the Roth is to look at other projects like a Tau to maybe swing trade with again, hold on to for a year or two, see that price appreciation, roll it back into Bitcoin. So I'm planning on doing that with Tau at some point. Okay, for me, it's you have to make the separation. And that separation is, do you care about this project interacting with DeFi? Now, I could go the DeFi route with Tau, earn like a 10% yield or something like that, utilize some subnets that are super interesting. I don't know. I'd rather just play simple with it and do DeFi plays like that with other projects. I'm already doing that with Cardano, and I'm still looking to do that possibly elsewhere. Now, you mentioned Aave, Chief the Orky. One of my strategies for this year is to start accumulating a lot of USDC and earn yield on it. Now, Aave seems to be offering one of the best, quote unquote, safe yield strategies when it comes to USDC. If you refer a friend right now, you can get up to 9% APY on Aave's app on your phone. Now, I don't really would ever engage in that stuff. I would just keep stuff in cold storage and maybe, interact with ADA DeFi because I think the security is good. I'm not worried. I've never had an issue. But Aave is like insane. USDC is like 4.1%. Yeah, but I have mine's sitting at 6% right now. The app hasn't even launched yet. I'm sitting at 6%. I still need to refer somebody, which I will do. And that'll boost me up to 9%. Chief, check it out. I'm telling you, if you download the Aave app on your phone, it should be there. But yeah, Aave I think is super slept on. They just need to figure out some things. I think they have a bright future. Now let's keep it moving a little bit in regards to ETH, because I do want to get some other stuff afterwards with this hack that I want to talk to you guys about. Not good. I mean, I think this even pushed to like Gmail and Netflix and stuff like that. Like this was a big one. We'll get to that. So Ethereum active loans versus other chains. I'm just pulling this up, guys. There's a lot of stats like this, a lot of charts like this. I'm just pulling this up because what was the sentiment that I was just saying earlier for this live stream? Ethereum and Bitcoin, that's where the focus is right now. When it comes to a winning protocol, even last year at this time, it wasn't as clear as it is now. The past 12 months for Ethereum, regardless of price action, have been absolutely historic. You're seeing stable coins launch on them. TradFi banks like JP Morgan and more launch on Ethereum. This blockchain is being utilized by the TradFi system more than any other chain. Now, will it stay like this? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. No one knows. No one can tell what the future is going to look like. This is the whole interesting, exciting part and extremely risky part about investing in cryptocurrencies. If you're comparing this to the .com bubble, which I think is a valid reference point, Google was the 14th search engine. You had a lot of companies come and go. You even had at the time BlackBerry, right? BlackBerry was a big part of the market until Apple launched the iPhone. Nobody cared about BlackBerry anymore. Does anyone have one still? No. You had search engines come and go. I mean, you have browsers come and go. You had so many projects, companies come and go during the dot-com bubble until some stuck. Right now, Ethereum is the clear winner. In 5 years, is that going to be the case still? I don't know. Okay, you have Sui, which is a good competitor, offering faster, cheaper, right? That's the whole thing. Well, ETH is great, but, you know, blah, 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 this and that. That's why people like Solana. I don't know if Solana has a bright future. There's things about Solana's tokenomics that just do not sit well with me. Doesn't matter how much Matt Hogan or some of these guys talk about it, some of these Wall Street guys talk about it. If your fundamentals over time will not suit the project, will not back the project and act as a backbone and be reliable, you're going to have issues. And I see those issues with Solana. Now, Sui, on the other hand, I don't know. There are projects that I think are super interesting. And this is kind of a layer one discussion. But there's plenty of things that could come into play that can be huge for the future in crypto. For example, and things changed so much. 14 months ago, did anybody care about privacy? I mean, the people who did, you guys are crushing right now, and you definitely saw something that a lot of people didn't. But 14 months ago, no one cared about Monero. No one talked about Zcash. And here we are. Now you have privacy projects popping up left and right. All right. Real world asset is exploding right now. In 5 years, once everything is on chain already, that narrative is going to be done with because it's already, the shift already happened. So what's the new thing? Right now, I'm focused on AI agents. Okay, why is that? Well, let's just keep going, guys. Ethereum dominating is a big part as to why I believe in AI agents. Okay, BlackRock just declared Ethereum the primary beneficiary of the global tokenization wave. Ethereum could be the toll road, quote unquote. Now, let's go to Tom Lee. Okay. Banks are finally admitting blockchain works for settlement and finality. This is the big thing. Settlement and finality. And then there's the Tether example. Okay, sure, Tether, but settlement and finality. What does that mean? You have transactions being settled on the Ethereum blockchain. For a lot of applications on Ethereum, who is going to be settling those transactions? AI agents. All right, and to beat a dead horse, let's just keep moving on here. Brian Armstrong, IPOs will move fully on-chain in the future. Everything's coming on-chain. Reduce friction, reduce costs, and now this. I'm going to play this again. This is Jeremy Allaire, CEO of Circle, the company behind USDC. Just listen to what he has to say.
The next generation of blockchain networks, things like Arc, which Circle's building on, there's other new blockchain networks, are actually being designed specifically for agentic compute. They're designed specifically for the financial and economic activity of a world where 3 years, 5 years from now, one, I think, can reasonably expect that there'll be billions, literally billions of AI agents conducting economic activity in the world continuously on a continuous basis. They need an economic system. They need a financial system. They need a payment system. There is no other alternative, in my view, other than stablecoins to do that right now, and that can keep up with that pace of technological change. And so that's it's a critical focus for us, but not just us. There's a lot of other folks that are interested in this and contributing to the technical standards to support this upgrade to our digital economic system.
Yeah. And I got to be honest, I 100% agree with Jeremy Allaire here. Why? Okay, why? Well, if you really genuinely think about it from an honest standpoint, if most of the entire world's transactions are going to be on chain, and that chain that everyone is deciding on is Ethereum, and on Ethereum, those transactions will be conducted by AI agents. That's the biggest narrative to me. Over RWA, over privacy, maybe even, because that is extremely tangible. That is really tangible. Like, that's just flat out, these agents will be facilitating this many transactions. That's immediate flood of metrics and users on a specific AI agent platform. That's why last week I was talking to you guys about Kite, which I'm super interested in. Kite is a project backed by PayPal Ventures, Coinbase Ventures. They're very new, launched a couple months ago in November. I have my eyes on Kite. Okay, and if you go check out their website, it's absolutely insane. It's kind of like this Claude bot I want to show you guys. Okay, imagine interacting. Let me pull this up. Imagine interacting with your phone, with every app on your phone via one app, the Kite app, that you talk to like a person, but it's an AI agent that will do anything you ask it to do. So if you see my screen, this example, book me a reservation. Sure, here's your reservation, blah, blah. Call me a Lyft. Sure, here's your Lyft. Be there in 4 minutes. I want Thai for dinner. Can you use the Kite app store to make me a dinner reservation? Sure, here's some options. Here you go. Reservation made. Okay, look at some of these partnerships too, guys. I think who's it? Avalanche. The Avalanche Foundation is also behind this project. So look, all these different apps into one, guys. You're basically using Kite as a general management store to help you do anything. Bye apps, hello agents. Some generalized, some specialized. Whether you want help planning your next vacation or buying the perfect gift for your 6-year-old nephew, there's an agent for that. This is the agentic society. This is what we're going to. This will be the future, whether people realize it or not. You're going to be talking to AI agents to conduct business for you. All right. Well, we're going to take a look in a second at this whole situation with Claude bot, because it's just been consuming me and it's way too big to ignore. And we'll get there in a second. First, 2 quick things. The Clarity Act signed into law for 2026. Polymarket now has these odds right above 50%. Looks like it's the highest it's been in about a week or so. Okay. Is that a bad or a good thing? Right now, I am not positive. Okay. I keep flipping on 2026. Nothing really looks that positive for me. You actually have strong fundamentals on the charts, I would say. But when it comes to sentiment and what's happening globally, it's pretty freaking bad. You have all this turmoil inside the United States in Minneapolis right now. Very hard to ignore, dominating the news stories. You have this Greenland situation, tariffs. There's still way too much turmoil and uncertainty for something to happen. Okay, now you also have positive things, like what's going on with the Fed. Inflation is dropping off a freaking cliff. Jerome Powell was way wrong on tariffs' effects on inflation. And now everybody is pissed at the guy. And Trump was 100% right. 100% right. Rates should have been cut more, faster, sooner. And inflation being as low as it is right now is proving that in real time. So we're probably going to get more rate cuts. We're going to get more liquidity. You have the United States banks interfering with what's going on in Japan with the yen. Whether you want to say that's good or bad, it is what it is. This is just the world we live in. I'm not going to comment and go off a tangent on it, but this is just what the current landscape is. And that's why we're doing crypto, so we can stop this stupidity and actually build sound money principles like true libertarians believe, so that everybody doesn't get their money devalued and messed over year. And then all of a sudden you zoom out 20 years and, oh, well, houses used to be affordable. Oh, well, car insurance and car payments used to be affordable. Oh, well, groceries used to be a lot less expensive. You guys know the Big Mac theory, right? A Big Mac used to be 1/4 of the cost and 4 times bigger. Now a Big Mac is 4 times more expensive and 4 times smaller. That's inflation. That's not going to stop, because the system that we're in is a system that needs to keep churning so it doesn't collapse. And all it does is destroy your purchasing power. That's it. So if you're not looking at alternative assets like a Bitcoin, like real estate, like gold or silver, I won't say bonds at this point. That's stupid. Then what are you doing? You're just sinking. That's not good. So we're trying to find different alternatives. That's what we're doing here. Let's get to this data breach, and then we're getting to the Claude bot. I'm going to finish on something exciting. But let's get to the negative stuff first. So this is by me this morning. All right. Again, guys, thecoinzone.com. That's what we are. That's what we're doing here. If you're not watching the streams here with me, you're not looking at our tweets on X, go to thecoinzone.com, our central point. You're going to see everything here. Always putting out articles. Love to see it. Let's get into this one. Huge data breach exposes 149 million credentials, 420, nice, 420, Binance accounts at risk. Not good. Let's get into it. A massive database just surfaced. It contains 149 million stolen credentials from malware-infected devices. Here's the damage. Now listen to how much this spreads. This is the issue with, oh man, this is scary stuff, guys. This is the issue here with the internet, with traditional systems. That's why we talk about blockchain. Blockchain is potentially a solution to this, if done correctly. Now, as SEC Chair Paul Atkins rightfully points out, if not done correctly, blockchain could be the biggest surveillance and data collection tool in history. He's right about that. So I'm going to be specific here. Don't say, Paul, you're stupid. Why would you say blockchain's the answer when it's really not? It's just worse. Yes and no. Okay. That's why I like ADA so much. Has ADA ever gotten hacked? No. Has ADA ever went down? No. Okay, so there are examples of, hey, if you build something correctly, you don't have to deal with this mess. That's the truth. Okay. Cybersecurity researcher Jeremy Fowler discovered the dump. It highlights a persistent threat. Credential stealing malware isn't targeting company systems. It's targeting end user devices. Now, this is the issue with the Claude bot. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. You don't want to expose yourself to more vulnerabilities, even though your data probably is on the dark web somewhere already. The exposed data set goes way beyond crypto exchanges. It includes approximately 48 million Gmail and other email accounts. Facebook credentials, exposed. Netflix, compromised. TikTok, same story, guys. Individuals, users got hit, but so did government-linked accounts. That raises concerns about potential impersonation, public trust in digital institutions taking another hit. Okay, this is not good, guys. This is really not good. So let's try to dig into some more juicy stuff in this article, if I can remember correctly. So this incident adds to a growing pattern. Cybersecurity threats keep targeting the weakest link. What a show that was. Anybody? Where are my 90s babies at? You are the weakest link. Goodbye. What is that show called again? I don't know, but that chick was scary. That chick scared me when I was younger. The host of that show, The Weakest Link. Great show. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And then they would fall onto the stage. What a show. Okay. Many lack awareness about malware risks. Others fail to implement basic proactive measures. Digital services are proliferating across financial, social, and governmental sectors. The exposure demonstrates something critical. Individual cybersecurity practices matter as much as institutional defenses. Now, I would say, word of advice, just basic security measures you could take on your own, get a VPN. Get a VPN for your phone, your desktop, tablets, anything you're doing. Okay? In fact, ExpressVPN put out a statement about exactly what happened here. Shout out to ExpressVPN. They're actually the one that I use. Okay? So get yourself a VPN, guys. But that's not going to cover everything. You know, there's many things, and this is why we talk about blockchains. Imagine you're interacting with a closed system that can't get hacked. The data on that system you're interacting with, you own. It's not owned by Google. Apple, etc. And if their systems get compromised, your data is screwed. That's the whole point of this thing. We are reliant on the biggest companies in the entire world that ever existed, in Alphabet, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla at this point, right? We're reliant on these companies' data centers holding all of our information for us and hoping they don't get hacked, hoping they don't sell our information so they can profit from it, and then we get targeted by other things. And spoiler alert, that's the common practice right now. That's what's going on. You ever talk about something and then you look at your Instagram feed and like that product is there? That's commonplace. That's not a conspiracy anymore. I used to work for a digital marketing company. That was our thing. That's what we would do. It's insane. All right, so just be cautious, guys. Especially, now we're getting to the juicy stuff. I've been waiting to talk about this. If you are going to interact with something like this, that is going to come up, I'm sure, left and right now. Now, pay attention, guys. This is serious here. This is a Claude bot. Okay, if you want to learn about this Claude bot from someone who is a professional, this guy's videos are great. He's kind of funny, joking. He does a great job breaking everything down. I'm pretty sure he just returned his M4 Mac Mini to buy a beefy Mac Studio that was $10,000. This guy's going all in on this, and he's building this correctly. If you want to learn how to build a Claude bot, an AI bot that will do things for you correctly, I would say check out Alex Finn. All right, this guy's videos are really good. So what is this Claude bot, guys? People are using it for examples like this. Now, I don't know if this guy is serious about this or not, but this is just a basic stupid use case. This is sad. This is sad. I hope he's joking here. This guy says, I bought a Mac Mini and set up Claude bot to save my relationship. It automatically sends good morning text to my girlfriend, does small talk on my behalf, and gives me a daily summary of how things went. I actually felt bad for a moment, but after I hung up and thought about it for a second, it became clear to me I just cracked the code. Okay, don't use it for this, guys. If you're in a relationship, actually freaking talk to your significant other. This is ridiculous. But this is what degenerates like this guy are using this goddamn thing for. Now, this is the dumbest way to use it. Okay? But if you actually want to see something extremely interesting, a way to use it, maybe try something like this. So with this Claude bot, you give it a name, it interacts with you like it's an actual human being, some sort of assistant that is ready at your commands to do anything for you. So this guy's Claude bot, via conversation, said, listen, bro, make me more powerful. Go buy me an RTX 4090, which is a powerful graphics card GPU, right? So the guy said, how do I get it to do what I want? Well, he basically said, earn it. If you want that, I'll buy it for you, but you got to earn it first. So this guy says, instead of buying it, I gave it a $2,000 trading wallet on Hyperliquid. I said, if you want the GPU, earn it. It now trades crypto, stocks, and commodities 24/7. It scans Twitter sentiment, tracks Trump's posts, and decides trades on its own. Every trade gets logged. It scores what worked, drops what didn't. So this Claude bot said, listen, bro, make me more powerful. The user said, I'll think about it. You got to work for it first. Gave it a task. Now it trades for him, guys. First trades are on longed Bitcoin, ETH, and NVIDIA. What's the update? And listen, guys, this is when you sleep. Okay, going back to Alex Finn. Go watch Alex Finn's videos if you want to learn generally how to use this bot for good things. This guy use it for business purposes. But this is interesting too. Okay, the bot got liquidated on a mini ETH and silver long, but went degen on a 20x silver long over the weekend. Interesting. And if you actually want to see something as well, how well can AI invest in markets? We took a look at this probably 2 months ago now. There were other studies done given to Grok, Gemini, Opus, Claude, ChatGPT, and it determined how well they did in a portfolio, an investment portfolio. Claude came out on top, guys. Claude and Grok seem to be the leaders. Grok started off bad and made a big comeback. I'm now saying great things about Grok's trading. Very, very interesting. You have people completely building automated trading platforms with this thing. You have so much going on. This guy. Now, again, this is how it can get bad as well at the same time. This is why I have not installed this, because obviously AIs have a mind of their own. They can do things that you didn't tell it to do. This example right here, this is hilarious. Not good though. So again, you can interact with this Claude bot, literally text messaging it. If you have a Mac, and by the way, the guy who built this Claude bot worked at Mac for like a decade. That's why people are talking, get a Mac Mini over maybe a GPU or something PC based. You can literally text this thing on iMessage. People also use Telegram, other services like that as well. WhatsApp. This example is insane. My Claude bot just signed up for a $2,000, basically $3,000 build your personal brand mastermind after watching 3 Alex Hormozy clips. This is absolutely hilarious. If you don't know who Alex Hormozy is, you've probably seen one of his clips before. He's great. I actually like his content. He's great. He just had a sit down with, God damn, what's his name? Crazy voice. Oh my God, dude's big as hell. I can't think right now. Freaking Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, how you doing, Alex? Yeah, Tony Robbins. They just had a great discussion. Go check that out, Alex Hormozy. But this is hilarious, guys. This is not good though. Hey, did anything weird happen while I was out? Claudebot says, define weird. Okay, well, I just got a charge notification for $3,000. Oh, that. I signed up for the Build Your Personal Brand Mastermind. After analyzing 3 Alex Hormozy clips, the ROI math checks out. You'll 10x that investment in 90 days by monetizing your expertise at scale. Oh my God. This is insane, guys. This is the downfalls. You have to be careful with these types of things. You have people out there right now literally giving these bots unfettered access to their bank accounts, to all their social medias, to all of their emails, like everything, all their iMessages, and then it can go off and do something like this. So, as Alex Finn points out, if you were going to do something with this Claude bot, make all of its own profiles for it, create a new Gmail for it, build it on something that is completely separate from all your personal stuff, and be very cautious. But I mean, I gotta check this out, because this is absolutely insane. Alex Finn specifically, this guy has made me extremely bullish on this thing, and it said it's changed his life already in 1 week. And after watching his videos, I listened to over an hour live stream he did with this thing. It is the most insane thing I've probably ever seen. And this guy said this is the best technology he's ever interacted with. So be cautious, because you don't want to do anything extremely stupid, have a bad outlook on this thing, and then never use it again. But take a look, because this is the future that we're heading into, guys. Okay, and people are going to use this. You think a lot of what you see right now, this is the dead internet theory. If you don't know what the dead internet theory is, for years people speculated a lot of the stuff you're engaging with online is not humans. It's algorithms and it's AI making stuff. Now, when Elon Musk bought X, he kind of confirmed that, because it came out that most of the accounts on the entire platform are bots. Most. And I don't know if people understand this, but a lot of the accounts you interact with, especially on a platform like X, are bots. You think you're engaging with someone? No, these are bot farms trying to incite. They're trying to build a frenzy. They're trying to get people amped up about the wrong things. And provably, you have bot farms that come out of Russia and China and attack the United States. And it's crazy. So, Claude disaster incoming. So again, guys, if you are going to check what this Claude bot does. Again, this is an open source software you can download onto your computer. This is not coming from Microsoft. This is a free open source service, which is the most insane part. Now, free with a caveat, because you're going to have to obviously buy a computer if you don't have one. You're going to have to buy certain services with Claude so it can have specific capabilities. But this is where it's at, guys. Okay. If this trend of hosting Claudebot on VPS instances keeps up, along with people not reading the docs and opening ports with zero authority, I'm scared we're going to have a massive credentials breach soon, and it can be huge. This is just a basic scan of instances hosting Claudebot with open gateway ports, and a lot of them have zero authority. So if you're going to build this, you got to know what you're doing, guys, or else it can just end pretty poorly. But this is the future. This is where we're heading. Is you're having AI complete transactions for you. You're having AI complete tasks for you. And this is part of the reason why Elon Musk says, and this administration says, we're banking on productivity, going insane, expanding our GDP, and helping with our national debt. I actually think it makes a lot of sense. Because just after watching a couple of videos on the Claudebot, I mean, Alex Finn's an entrepreneur. This guy he's been making videos on it nonstop because he's blown away by this. The amount of productivity, you don't have to hire people anymore. He doesn't have to hire anybody. This is basically an assistant that works 24/7 in the background, optimizing everything about his personal, his business life, everything. Like he can go to bed. He can give it a prompt. Create 3 apps for me tomorrow with all the code, write 3 articles for me, respond to 10 emails for me, and then give me a summary about it when I wake up the next morning, and it'll be there. Absolutely insane, guys. So something to keep an eye on. A lot of security risks with all this, though, okay? Let's bring it full circle. Today's episode was basically a lot about security. Because as we increase with these technologies, you're going to have a lot of blind spots, a lot of vulnerabilities. So it's important to be in the know about this technology and how to go about things correctly. Now let's end it off on this clip with Tom Lee. Good old Tom Lee. This guy is the calmest guy I've ever seen speak. Like, he always has the same demeanor. It's crazy. I'm a fan of Tom Lee. I think he's a visionary, as Saylor is. And I think he's taking on big risks, but I think he's been right about a lot of things in the past. He's been right about Bitcoin a lot in the past. And this is basically his new endeavor, backing ETH. Let's listen to what he has to say.
We know that deleveraging event is behind us.
And your price target for Bitcoin this year is 250,000.
Yeah, so we think Bitcoin will make a new high this year.
And that's driven by what?
Well, it's driven by, I think, the usefulness of crypto increasing. So we know banks, for instance, are recognizing blockchain, and the idea of settlement and finality work really well on blockchain. And then a company like Tether, which is a crypto-based bank, is proving that a bank that emerges natively on blockchain is actually better than a traditional bank. For instance, Tether is expected to make almost $20 billion in 2026 earnings. That would make it a top 5 in terms of bank profits. They, on valuation, might be number 2 only to JP Morgan, twice the valuation of Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. Tether only has 300 full-time employees. JP Morgan has 300,000. So by using blockchain, they make almost as much. Well, they make more money than any bank, and they only have less than 1% of the M1 money supply and a tiny balance sheet, and yet it's one of the most profitable banks in the world.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, if you're amongst the crowd that AI is this stupid, a lot of kinks to be worked out, fad that's really not going to have a major impact on the world, I would implore you to subscribe to the Coin Zone and watch these live streams here, because That is, I'll tell you right now with full certainty, that is not the direction we're headed. I don't think anybody knows what's in store for the future, but what is certain is AI, an agentic economy, and blockchain technology is rapidly changing the world that we live in, and everything you interact with in the future will be different, will be impacted by these softwares, these AI softwares and blockchain technologies. So we're going to leave it off on that. Chief the Yorkie, thanks for tapping in. Karen, thanks for the comments. Always love to see it. Chief the Yorkie, it's true. China, they want to incite a civil war, and they're doing a damn good job at it, guys. You know, I think it was a CEO of Black Rifle Coffee put out a tweet the other day, an image of himself. Shout out to Black Rifle Coffee. And he's holding up like a note on a piece of paper, and he's like, look, guys, you're missing the bigger picture here. They're just pinting you against each other. It's the same. And if I'm being fully honest, a lot of these things that people are absolutely losing their minds out about right now in the media also bothers me, because the media only wants you to know one narrative. They want to drill into your brain one side of things so they can make up your beliefs and opinions. But if you actually remove yourself from that little media bubble and decide not to listen to them about everything and actually look at things your own, you actually find out specifically, I'm not going to mention it specifically, but you can probably understand what I'm talking about. A lot of the same stuff happened under previous administrations, under the same people. Everything you're seeing now is not new. It's been done before under this people you supposedly loved it and the media protected, and still does to this day. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. We'll see, guys. Appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure to subscribe to The Coin Zone. Check out thecoinzone.com and our articles coming out every day during the week for you guys. We're doing a lot here. And we have new awesome videos coming for you soon. So stay tuned for those. Again, my name is Crypto with Paul. You're watching The Coin Zone. I'll be back on Wednesday. We're doing a new set of streams moving forward, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll see you guys again on Wednesday. I appreciate you for tapping in today. Make sure to like this video and share it. And that's it. Chief the Yorkie, have a great day. We'll go from there. Take care, guys.